Good afternoon, or good evening, folks, as the case may be, and welcome to another edition of the Bill Crane Report, highly rated Bill Crane Report,
Absolutely.
by the way. And I'm joined, of course, by Chris Gleason and Dwayne Weiss. And without any further ado, and no more baloney, I want to get to a few things right away.
Good.
The next show we do, I couldn't get it into this show, but the next show we do, I'm going to lead with the oxycodone crisis.
Okay.
Because there's some articles in the paper that are just mind-boggling about this.
Mm-hmm.
And the one in the Herald today that said the worst is yet to come. We will not peak out in deaths for another 5 years before we figure out what the hell to do.
Yeah.
This is incredible. Anyway, I'm stealing my own thunder.
Okay.
So there.
Put it away, or we'll have it
Next week.
We'll eat it all up before
2 weeks
then.
from now. Yeah. The tax cut program looks like it's going to go through. Mm-hmm. And this morning, a couple of guests on Fox Financial kind of, told some stories out of school that there's been a compromise. Mm-hmm. This is going to be announced tomorrow. And the rich states that are going to get hurt by losing the deduction for real estate and income tax, it's been cut in half. Real estate deduction is going to stay, but the income tax deduction is out. That's going to hurt the millionaires.
Yep.
But only half as much as if they lost both.
Right.
So it looks like that is going to go. Now, here's the interesting thing. The Democrats, who for years have said, get the rich to pay their fair share. Soak the rich. Why can't the rich pay more? Are now fighting this. Well, you're hurting the rich. Well, they're not saying the rich, but you're hurting people in New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, California, Illinois, the big money people.
Well, they found out that in a lot of cases they are the big money people, but they don't want to admit it.
Yeah.
And they bitched so much about Trump dropping the 39.6% top number down to 35, that they put it back up to 39.6.
I'm glad.
So now Chucky Schumer is crying foul.
Chucky Schumer would always cry foul.
But now he gets his chance to pay his fair share. But anyway, and I got some news. And this is maybe not the most important story in the world, but we better watch out here in this country. The National Health Service in England, in one county in Great Britain, has ruled no surgery for the obese or for smokers.
Wow, how can they do that?
They don't recover fast enough. They're too expensive to take care of.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Well, sure. But guess what they want to do in this country? Nationalized health care.
Yep.
This sort of thing, we're 10 years away from this happening here. Maybe 5 years away. I mean, look, these people are insane. But they talk about, now, we know that the Democrats have talked about, I shouldn't say that, the liberals, the left wing,
Okay.
has talked about death panels.
Yep.
Who gets to live? Do we do surgery on a 91-year-old that Alzheimer's patient, or someone who's crippled, who has no quality of life at all? And do we really do a quadruple bypass? And so they're already talking about it. They deny it, but they're talking about it.
Well, I know in Canada
Yeah, I was going to say, go ahead.
that a neighbor in Canada, his husband had a severe stroke, and the government in Canada would not pay for his physical rehabilitation because of his age.
How old was he?
I don't know, I can't remember, but he was over 60, I can say that for sure.
We know people that they live in Canada, have the Canadian health system, buy U.S.-based policies. Well, very expensive.
One of the
In case they need
busiest.
it, they come across the border to New York and then
one of the
Niagara somewhere.
busiest places is they come across in Windsor,
Windsor, and
Ontario,
Detroit.
and come into Detroit, Michigan, and look for health care there. And that's a cottage industry, is serving Canadians.
Like they said, this person said that, my husband has gallstones, and that's not high on the priority. It's not fatal,
Right.
but it's extremely painful
Yeah.
over and over and over.
Yeah.
He'd wait 15, 20 years maybe in Canada to get that
Well,
taken care of.
I don't know whether it's that long or not, but you wait up there, you go on a hellacious list. Now my son is that's probably a bad example. Oh, but maybe it's a good example, I don't know. But he's a bill collector. And he said it's amazing how many foreign nationals come here for surgery.
Oh, definitely.
Mass General, Brigham and Women's, John Hopkins.
Yep.
But he collects for the medical industry. And some of them are great. Some of the countries, the people are great about paying their bills. Then there's others you have to chase, but he said there are some that say, I want to see the printout of everything you're charging me for. And he says, you know what? After we send them, about 30 days later, the check comes in.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. And I said to him, who are the best paying people, Patrick? And he said, I wish I just collected from the Indians. They pay. The Chinese pay eventually. You got to work with them. But
the people who get to come here for surgeries can afford it, because otherwise they wouldn't be able even to fly
That's
here.
right.
you got that. You got it. And so it's kind of an interesting job he has.
But then on the other hand, I have friends that live in New Mexico who go down to Mexico to get medical care because it's so much cheaper.
Yeah, but that's,
If you want.
it's nothing complicated they get down there for, I don't think. I think it's probably a hernia operation or maybe a knee replacement.
Dental.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or dental.
My uncle used to go down for dental.
Yeah.
Oh my God! He'd see those pictures of the places he'd stop, and they'd look like a stall on the street, and had a set of dentures hanging out over the outside. You could tell it was a dental place. Oh, he says they do great work. I wouldn't go in there to have them clean my teeth much. I didn't do anything.
So the bottom line is our medical system needs to be fixed.
On many different
Level.
levels, yeah, it's got to be fixed. And I mean, shoot me for saying this, okay? But it may be that somehow if we can work the wrinkles out of a single-payer system and have Medicaid take it over, maybe that will be the most efficient way of doing it and the fairest way of doing it.
Right.
And the easiest way of covering everybody. But I don't know whether it's efficient to have 40 insurance companies and 40 different plans for people, I don't know. I don't know enough about it. But
Even within one insurance company, one side doesn't know what the other side is doing.
oh yeah, and again, my son tells me that insurance companies, you get one answer one day and another answer the other
Oh,
day.
absolutely.
It all depends on how they
Oh, yeah.
feel, evidently, you know. The Senate, Massachusetts Senate, they're a ball of fire. They're working on redoing sentencing and some of this minimum sentences and all of that. They're really wrangling about it, but a couple of things are just, the Senate bill just barely passed. But it goes to the House now, and the House will bury this thing. But a couple of things. Now, felony larceny right now in Massachusetts, the threshold is $250. They want to raise it to $1,500. Well, think about this for a second. So you get an elderly person with an iPhone, $1,100, walking down the street.
That's right.
Doot, 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 whammo! Either that or she gets knocked on her keister by one of these thugs, and he reaches down and grabs it and takes off.
That's right.
You know, there's a lot of risk involved in having a cell phone on your person, and they want to minimize it by raising the threshold to $1,500.
Take a look who's behind that. It's always some legislator from somebody like Brockton, Lawrence, Methuen, a high-risk, high-crime area who've got a lot of their clientele or constituents in prison or in jail,
Right.
and they want to get them out. That's right.
Or a real first-class, burning hot liberal from Natick.
Or one of the two. Yep.
Senator Linsky is very involved in this sort of thing.
It's like what they say, you can't have solitary confinement because it's inhuman and it's not inhuman punishment. Well, what in the hell are you going to do with somebody in prison that kills somebody else while he's in prison?
Yeah.
Or assaults a guard, or assaults a correction officer, or does something wrong. You're going to say naughty, naughty? He said, well, I'm already in prison. What are you going to do to me?
Well, how are we ever going to make him less angry unless we put him in the population and let him work his anger out?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But in doing so, here, I'm quoting the article, the bill's supporters, wait a minute, Senate supporters of the legislation say their goal is to reduce the Bay State's prison population, which is already lower than almost every other state, and to level the playing field in the criminal justice system that they argue is tilted against minorities. Well,
You know what that is? Right here.
Well,
Blinders.
first of all, let's lower the population of the prisons. But as the prison population rises, crime goes down.
Of course.
Okay?
Oh,
You got the perpetrators behind bars.
And number two, there's too many minorities in prison. Well, tell the minorities to stop doing the crimes.
That's right.
I mean, this.
That's what we put blinders on. We look at the figure and says, percentage of this, percentage of that. Oh no, that can't be. We ignore the fact that high percentage that's are institutionalized are the ones that committed the crime.
Well, there's too many of one particular ethnicity in prison. Okay, so rather than say, you've been bad, so you're going to stay behind bars, they let them out.
Sure.
And then the percentage drops down. And they can say, look at Massachusetts, how progressive we are.
Right.
well, that's a strange goal, to lower the prison population. They should have goals of lessening the crime.
And better protection for the citizens.
Right.
Well, see, Chris, they work on the impression or the belief that they're unfairly incarcerated. it's not that they did the crime. They are just unfairly incarcerated
Right.
simply because of who they are.
Well, and not only that, but they live in these substandard neighborhoods, and there's crime in the neighborhoods, and they don't get a good education, and they don't have a father in the house, and on and on and on and go. Instead of saying, he's a bad boy, put him away. But no, we think of all these reasons why we can't do this. Our special guest today is Harvey Weinstein, the face of evil. He's with us. Harvey has been quite the bad boy of late.
Harvey's been a bad boy for a long time.
For a long time. And, you know, it's interesting, too, because they describe his sexual appetite. And when you boil it down, when you force a woman to do that, it's rape. But why won't they call him a rapist? Well, he's one of us, you know. And
There are so many people, particularly in the Hollywood crowd, that owe their career to him
oh, yes.
one way or another. That they're very, very reluctant to say, and they only come out now after years and years and years. They've known this going on for a long, long
Of course
time.
they have.
So
Absolutely.
the question they should ask some of these prima donnas is, where you been?
Ashley Judd, Rosanna Arquette, Angelina Jolie, Gwyneth Paltrow
Yep.
have all recently come center stage and said, well, yeah, he did this to me or he did that to me. And when you force a woman to do something, I don't give a damn what you want to call it. But it's rape when it comes down to it.
That's
And
right.
He should be in prison for about a skillion years.
And now we are seeing the flip side of that. Oh, me too.
Oh, yeah.
Well, here we got our illustrious Miss Warren. She was now all of a sudden sexually assaulted
Victimized.
by a guy that was chased her around the desk. She could barely escape with her life. Of course, the guy had polio and could hardly walk.
Yeah.
They don't mention that.
No.
And then they'll mention it was 30, 40 years ago,
Yeah.
and she never said anything to anybody.
And she was so upset by it, so traumatized by it. But amazing, she is a strong woman because she was still able to deliver a eulogy at his funeral.
That's right. And praised him to high heaven.
High heavens, you'd think he was a saint.
And now all of a sudden, oh my God.
Do you think that Pocahontas really speaks with a forked tongue?
I think the fork goes about this far. If you couldn't get her in a room when she opens her mouth with her tongue.
Sort of like Pinocchio.
Yeah.
The nose just keeps on
She
growing.
is such an opportunist.
Oh, man. But you know, Joe Fitzgerald, who's simply the best writer in Boston, he also really brooms Clinton.
Well,
He said, Weinstein is just sitting back. He's not rebutting any of these charges. But Clinton sicked James Carville on all these unfortunate women. Paula Jones, Juanita Broderick, Catherine Willey, and painted them as just absolute garbage.
They were harlots.
And he said, this is good. James Carville suggested, drag a $100 bill through a trailer park and there's no telling what you'll find.
Yep.
But that's what Clinton said. These were just trailer park tramps trying to make a fast buck off me.
And now they're her buddies. Mm-hmm. I mean, you look at the crowd. You get the Clintons, the Hillary. You got Oprah Winfrey. You got Whoopi Goldberg. All these big mouth, always got their mouth open about something.
Flapping
about something. Now they got, they were great Harvey supporters. Oh, they were just a buddy with this guy.
In fact, one of them, I got it here in my notes someplace, called him a god.
Yep.
Wow.
He may think he's a god.
She said it.
Now, whatever happened to Bill Crosby?
He seems to be sliding into senility. They're just prolonging all these cases and getting, if he's found guilty, they're appealing it, and hopefully, hopefully they're saying, well, he's going to die pretty soon. Anyway,
He's yesterday's news now. And it's
Yeah.
He's,
He'll never see the inside of a cell.
no.
Well, yesterday in New York City, Saifulo Saipo, age 29, Saipov.
Now you know these immigrants never commit crimes.
No,
They don't do anything wrong.
no, and he's been a good citizen for a while, I
But
guess.
he's a
sort of.
legal citizen. He's not.
Yes, he has a green
Yeah,
card.
but
Yeah,
still-
he came in on one of those programs.
Lottery.
Actually, it was a group that has been discriminated against and doesn't get their fair share of green cards, can
Yep.
go into this pool. He rented a small dump truck. I get a kick out of people on TV. They keep calling it a pickup truck.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But if you look at it, it's got a dump body on the back. It's one of the small garden dump trucks.
Right.
And he rented it at Home Depot and turned onto a bike pedestrian path and killed 8 people.
That's right.
Then smashed into a school bus. He was yelling, Allahu Akbar. He jumped out with 2 guns, and a police officer shot him, and he's in the hospital. He's from Uzbekistan. Been here since 2010, has a wife and 3 kids.
I'm glad in this case they didn't kill him.
No, they didn't. They shot him in the abdomen, and he's surviving.
I think sometimes I know they're taught to use absolute tremendous force.
Oh, deadly force.
Deadly force right away. But sometimes if he's not an immediate threat, and I guess he wasn't carrying real weapons is what we heard.
Well, that's right, but you know, have
They
no
don't know
way of
that
knowing
at
that.
that point.
I mean, he had,
But-
I think, an air pistol.
Yeah,
and
BB
something.
gun and a paintball gun.
Yeah,
But sometimes
can't
if they
tell
wouldn't have
the
killed him,
Yeah.
you can get some information. Once
Right.
they're dead, you can't put much together anymore.
Yeah.
You really think you're going to get information out of him?
Oh yeah, I think they will.
You know, I think that somehow or other, when the lights go out some night, he may get a jolt of truth serum
Yeah.
or something.
He's got a wife. She knows stuff. He's got relatives that know things.
Do you know, and I'm not going to apologize for continuing to beat this drum. I'm going to keep on saying it until everybody wakes up, but we're at war. We're at war with terrorism, and I don't give a damn who says we're not. I know that Obama, oh, no, we're not at war with Islam. We can't be.
Yeah, you can't even use that word, Islamic terrorist, together.
I can't say that because you'll make them mad. But really, what they say was, he didn't want to use those words because he didn't want to inflame Joe Six-Pack, the white guy that drinks beer and has guns. Nope, don't. So, well, he tiptoed around it constantly.
Yes.
Talk about an honest president. Man, what a fraud. However, we lost 8, and in Somalia, they lost
Yeah.
276 in a car bomb. Unbelievable.
I am amazed, and we both got military backgrounds and been around weapons and explosives. Today, the power of those explosives, you look at the damage that does. That thing was, years ago, that would have been a 3,000-4,000 pound bunker
Oh,
buster
yeah.
to do that.
Yeah.
Now they pack them in a car.
There was an article in today's paper. I didn't cut it out. I didn't have time. But there's a story about over in Pakistan, a boy, 10 to 14, and they just try to put the pieces together, carried a plastic bag of explosives into a store and killed 14 or something like that. A plastic bag. Kabongo. And he didn't know, they theorized he didn't know what he was doing. You know, bring the bag in and give it to Uncle Joe.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as he got in the door, they pressed the button and boom. Well, anyway, moving along, we got a lot of subjects today. If you're jewelry shopping, folks, I can cut down the travel. Kay's, Jared, Sales, all big names in jewelry. You don't have to go to all three. They're all owned by the same outfit.
Same person. Oh,
Yeah. So you can cut down on your shopping. Just go to one of them. You'll find you'll find what's in stock at the other two. See, this is a public service show, folks.
I think that's happening in the malls too. Some of the big box stores are owned by the same people. And actually, I don't go to the malls anymore because they all carry the same merchandise anyways. So what's the sense?
Yeah. Kmart was owned by Sears or vice versa. I don't know if Kmart owned Sears. Sears is just... The guy that is one on the board is a gazillionaire. He just pumped another $80 million into Sears yesterday.
But Sears has been dying for years.
It has. It has. They missed the curve, totally. When Best Buy and some of the others, Home Depot, they just missed the boat. And you know, I used to go shopping at Sears all the time. But you know, towards the end, like say the last 8 or 10 years, you'd go there. Yeah, we don't have that in stock. We got to order that from our warehouse in New Jersey. It'll be 3 days.
There were too much to too many.
Yeah.
They're so diverse in their merchandise selection that they couldn't concentrate on any one area.
And do you know what really hurt them badly? I think, anyway, is when they cut the salesman back to straight pay. And they eliminated the commission. Now, the commission wasn't much. It was like 2 or 3%. But if a guy sold a TV or a washing machine or a washer dryer, now it becomes significant, you know? And they eliminated that.
You could get that going to Sears when they were on commission. That, maybe say you wanted a washing machine or a chainsaw, it doesn't matter what it was. He knew that product.
Right.
And he would go through that product with you. This is what it'll do. This is the features. This is the benefits. This what it'll do for you. And this is how this. And this one compares to this one. And this one's better than this one for this. Now they didn't get. Now when they took them off that kind of commission, they buy it. You don't buy it. I don't give a damn.
I wanted shows you how long it's been since I've been in Sears, but I wanted a boombox for one of the kids. So I asked the guy who spoke broken English, will this do such and such? And he goes, here box, you read.
You read. I had one too. He said he wants to open it up and wants to look at the manual. I said, well, I can do that myself.
Yeah. And I said, no. I'm not going to read the box. You tell me. Here box, you read. And he walked away. So, when are we going to change the spelling of Wednesday? If that isn't the clumsiest damn word.
Wednesday, yeah.
What's wrong with W-E-N-N-S-D-A-Y? Phonetically, that would be correct. But W-E-D-N-E-S-D-A-Y, how the hell do you get Wednesday out of that? It must be a silent D. That's the only thing I can figure.
Yeah,
and if that's the case, take it out of there. And when are we going to finally change ask to axe, A-X-E?
I hope we don't. I hope we don't go that
My
way.
wife threw this one in. Jewelry.
Yeah,
Should be jewelry. That's how most people say it, jewelry. So we'll just change the spelling to J-E-W-L-E-R-Y. Well, we got to change with the times, I'm telling you. Now, I stopped at the local bank and they gave me this coupon after I deposited some money. And I said, okay, I want the vacuum cleaner. Oh, well, no, you can't get a gift. I said, why not? Well, you already have free checking. and this is just for new customers.
Oh, yeah, though that
I said, so let me understand this. I'm loyal. I've been with you 15 or 20 years.
That's a good point.
And some bum that comes in off the street with 2 10s and a 5 and opens up a checking account with you people, you give them something nice. Well, you could open up a second checking account. I said, you know what? I said, I don't know why I come in here. I really don't.
I think Verizon does that too.
Oh, they all do that.
They all do it, yeah.
They all do that.
They have all these great prices, but only for new customers.
New customers, yeah.
By the way, speaking of that and bitching about that kind of stuff, my wife went and bought a new car. Her and Patrick, he's a co-conspirator, put me in the poorhouse. But they went to one dealer down in Norwood on the auto mile to look at a Honda. Mm-hmm. You can figure out who it is.
Well, there's actually, well, I know
There's
there
only
is
one
one,
now.
but
Yeah, it's Bach. Bach Honda. The salesman came up to them and said, can I help you? We're interested in the CRV, Patrick said. He said, are you buying or just looking?
oh, gee.
Because if you're just looking, I don't have time for you.
Oh my God.
Go look by yourself.
Wow.
Yep.
But if you're buying, I can squeeze. Come on over here and sit down. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine if you and I got a telephone call while we were in business?
Nope.
Yep.
You're right.
Hello. Oh, Ed, how are you? Listen, are you buying something or are you just wasting my time? How long would we have our customers?
Yep.
Bach doesn't own that anymore.
No, he
No,
doesn't.
there's
Sold
some
it. Yeah.
conglomerate owns all of them.
But they can use the Bach name.
Yeah.
That was part of
Yeah.
it. But you know, that goes back to old, I think his name was...
So did she go down to Prime?
No, she bought a Subaru.
She got a, oh, the Honda CRV is very highly rated.
It is, but the Subaru's top. The Forester.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
number one.
number
Yeah.
one.
You know what? She loves it.
Oh, great.
So
She's happy.
that's it. And boy, happy wife, happy life.
Yep.
You know, and she loves the car, and so that's the end of the story.
But that thing with the salespeople, that I've had things like that happen to me, and it just irritates the living
Oh,
hell
yeah.
out of me. I can't remember his name. He used to own out in Shrewsbury. They called him the Shrewsbury Flash. He always had cowboy hats, and he had stores that was discount, junky-looking stores. And he had this thing he would send out his employees to. We were going to married with working for him. He'd send you to Hawaii, you and your wife on a honeymoon. He'd buy you stuff different. And he went to buy a Cadillac from one place. They wouldn't wait on him because he had an old cowboy hat and old boots. That's what he always wore. And for life of me, I can't remember the name of it. He was famous there for a long, long time. And so he just got mad. He walked out and he called up Cadillac, General Motors. Says, I just bought 2 new Lincolns. You want to see them? I came in to buy a Cadillac, but I was too shabbily dressed to get a Cadillac. So he said the people who were Lincoln sold them to me.
Yeah, they didn't mind.
They didn't mind.
The color of the money is still green.
More people have got to do that.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Here's a quote from a guest on Fox Financial. Don't ever underestimate the incompetence of Congress.
Yeah.
They were talking about the possibility of getting a bill through, and she said, don't ever underestimate their
Yeah,
incompetence.
it's an old adage in the advertisement. Don't ever overestimate the intelligence of your customer.
Yeah. Yeah. A TV ad showed a lady saying these words, dinner is the most stressful time of my life. And then a voice says, and that's solved by the Omaha Steak Crock Pot and bags of frozen Omaha Steakhouse frozen meals.
Oh, I saw those. $20.
Yeah.
$20 a meal those cost.
Yeah. But that's 4 servings.
Yeah, did you see the size of the serving?
Yeah. Oh, I saw the size of the bag. I could figure it out. Yeah, and by the way, the crock pot is over $50.
Yep.
That's pretty stiff for crock pot, I'll tell you, these days.
Speaking of ads, there's one out there that I just want to, when I see this thing, I want to tear somebody apart, and that's a stupid pizza ad.
Which one?
The pizza, I don't know which one that is.
Oh, that's Papa John.
The guy comes in and he says, I just got a great deal on a pizza, and his little kid is sitting on a chair. They got two of them. One he says, did you get most pepperoni and most cheese? Sort of like The Godfather.
Oh.
And the father all of a sudden breaks out in a sweat, you know, and he's, no, I didn't. The kid goes like this. Come here, and he has a number one dad. He reaches up and he tears the number one off.
I saw that, yeah.
And throws it away. I said, I'll take that little SHIT and whack him to 8 days in the next Sunday.
Can't do that anymore.
I know it.
Not supposed to, anyway. All right, moving right along. Colonel Ralph Peters on Fox News talking about the great all-volunteer work being done by the Cajun Navy in Houston and Beaumont, Texas. These are the people Hillary Clinton referred to as the deplorables.
Yep.
I mean, I could have kissed the television set when he said that. This is so correct. I mean, jeepers creepers.
Oh, we were deplorables. We were the deplorable, uneducated white guys there in
Yeah.
the election, weren't we?
We voted, though.
Yeah, we were proud of it, too.
Yeah. According to Burgess Owens in his new book, Liberalism, it makes people whiners, weenies, and wimps. The problem in the black community is no God, no family. And in his mind, the community should concentrate on God, family, and country. And don't worry about being liked. Instead, work on being respected. And truth in advertising, Burgess Owens is a black former NFL football player.
Yep, I saw him.
Very articulate guy. Mm-hmm. He nails it. No God, no family.
Yeah,
I mean, you say to yourself, what's wrong? You know, and why are these kids growing up, you know?
And he should know, and he's not like a white man
Exactly.
preaching to the blacks.
Yep.
It's one of their own that see it.
Instead, you should concentrate on God, family, and country, and don't worry about being liked. Instead, work on being respected. This business about I'm disrespected, and my neck is in a knot over it. Let me tell you something. You don't get respected just by snapping your fingers.
That's right.
Respect has got to be earned.
Yep.
Wow. Here's one I like. It should be a federal crime for a man or a boy, an older boy, to impregnate a female or females and not to contribute to the child's upbringing to age 18. We need to eliminate knocking up ladies as a competitive sport among young men. Another reason for national ID cards and DNA databases.
You got that right.
I mean, there was a D-back in one. He went to the Pro Bowl, and they were interviewing him, and he said, "So, do you have kids?" He says, "Yep, 9 of them with seven different women."
That's so common among certain
But
groups.
you also have to consider it takes two to tango. And the woman has got to take some responsibility too.
Well, of course she does.
Oh, I agree with you totally. I agree. The whole thing is just there's no value system. Just values are out the door.
Well, the value, it's money. Yeah. Because if they live apart and they're not married, she gets more benefits. Why get married?
Well, but we're paying for the benefits. Because he's not kicking in. I
know.
Here's a guy that's making $600,000-$700,000 a year, and they had him in court after that, by the way. He ended up in court. How much are you paying these babies?
Well, that's because he made an announcement.
Yeah, I'm just not. Now, here's another thing here too. What percentage of adults dressed up as in a costume last night?
46.
I didn't understand.
How many people, adults, dressed up for Halloween?
In the whole country?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd say at least 1 million.
Well, it was
Percentage.
48%.
Oh,
They
you
did
know
a
percentage.
poll. Yeah, and who knows how accurate
Yeah,
it is.
46,
but-
pretty close.
Yeah, you almost nailed it. 48% of the adults dressed. And Tom Brady and his wife Giselle were on the 11 o'clock
Oh,
news
yeah,
last
geez, with
night.
his yogurt or his
An avocado.
avocado.
Yeah, and she was a nitwit or something.
So what's your point?
I would think that Halloween should be for children. I don't understand adults wanting to dress up as.
It's phenomenal the amount of money that is spent on a per capita basis on things like Halloween.
I know.
It's very high for candy.
Yep.
Yeah, well, it's everything, you know. Everything.
Yeah, actually, the costumes outrank the candy, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And by the way, Dwayne, how many trick-or-treaters did you get last night?
Absolutely zero.
Well,
I didn't get any.
none? No. We got none. And I had a bucket of candy for the little extortionists. Not one.
Yeah, but there's lots of reasons for that. One is they had that scare years ago about the razor blades and the candy.
Yeah.
And then they didn't take your kid only to the places where they're known, you know the neighbors. Then there was parties at school, and then they give back the candy. They have a buyback program. So what's the sense, you know?
Do you know
If
that,
your parent's going to say, okay, you've had your fun, now it's time to give this candy back.
We've been there 36 years. We haven't had one yet.
wow. Do you know,
Maybe
I'm
because
not
of, maybe because of the pit bull I tie up at
Well,
the end of the driveway. I don't know.
and you sitting in the front window with the
One
gun.
year I actually bought a pumpkin. It's the most disgusting thing in the world to dig that guts out of that pumpkin. They
Oh, yeah.
stink. And dug all that crap out. And my son was little, and so he wanted, let's get some kids for trick-or-treating. And we made up jack-o'-lantern, put jack-o'-lanterns, put candles or flashlights out on the end of the driveway, you know, like, come on, kids. Still didn't get any.
You're the last outpost in Dodge there, heading west.
In a
so-
long, dark driveway.
Yeah.
Plus we had-
I'm not lamenting.
We still had log remnants last night. So we had about 2 big trees down.
Oh, yeah? I'm not lamenting this trend.
No.
I think Halloween is ridiculous. But
Oh, I'm not
nonetheless.
either.
I love it.
I'm married to a candy holic. So this is a
Oh,
reason
yeah.
to stock up.
Well, they can go to Candy Anonymous together, her and Monica and my wife, because I have to hide the candy now in the house.
I think Halloween's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I enjoy dressing up.
Well,
Yeah.
part of the 48%. This is interesting. Get a free scan from Experian to see if you're on the dark side
Yeah.
and see how Experian can help you protect your identity for money.
Well, of course for money. They're not doing all this.
They're the ones that had,
Yeah.
they're the ones that causing this huge mess.
They had the
Because
big breach.
Yeah.
And then they want to charge you
Yeah.
to track it.
We'll give you a free look at
Oh,
the dark side.
God, yeah.
We'll tell you whether you're there or not, but we're not going to help you. Unless you
It's
pay.
nuts.
I don't know what bank I was calling, but I called up and they wanted to do a voice print. And I said, no way, as a way of identifying you. And always when they research crimes, they always do the voice print as one of the forensic clues. But I mean, if they have my DNA and they have my, well, even now, you have to give them your life history before you get anything at the bank.
Oh, I know.
And then that's giving out more information. It's not keeping it private. It's not saving you. It's not helping you be secure. If this bank knows about it, and the government knows about it, and the doctor knows about it, and the credit union knows about it.
Agencies know about it. The insurance companies.
And they sell
That's
it
the
to
way things
everybody.
are, but you mean,
It's
I
not
don't
keeping me
see-
safe.
well, it's not, but I think the bank should be a little bit more, not less. I'd give my voice printed instantly. I went into my bank, it's Rockland Trust. Changed hands several times. And I knew all the other people in Foxborough, everybody behind the window, and they knew who I was. Now we got a whole new crew in there. This has been 20-some years ago. I went to draw $2,000 out of a money market account. I said, I'd like to take $2,000. Didn't ask me a question. All right, just fill this form out. Gave it to him. I said, I don't know you. You don't know me. You accepted that fact that
I'm him.
I'm him. All I think I knew the account number. Hell, I get that out of my garbage can.
Yeah.
But no security whatsoever.
You know, it's real interesting. And then, but you know, I call up, who did I call the other day? She asked everything except what size socks I wear.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying, why are we doing this? By the way, lack of diversity in the cabinet. Are you concerned about that? No.
Not either. I don't know why diversity makes everything better.
It doesn't.
I can't understand that. Why?
If white middle-aged men are the best choice, then Trump is doing the right thing. Being a top official is not a training ground. Only proven, experienced, results-driven people should be considered and ultimately appointed.
That's right.
To say, well, now let's see. Do you have any Latvian blood in you? We don't have anybody in the cabinet with Latvian blood. Or was your mother really born in Samoa? We can use you. You don't know. You don't have to know anything about air travel to be on the Civil Aeronautics Board. As long as you're kind of minority. Do you limp? You know. Oh,
I know.
God.
We've gotten nuts with that stuff.
Nuts. God gives us life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, not government. And if we end up worshiping government, we are performing an idolatrous act. We need to smarten up and realize it's God who gives us all our blessings and not the corrupt politicians.
Yeah, but the government, this is like the Constitution, right? That's to protect us. That's to say that everybody has that right. And it's the government's job to protect you, to make sure you have those rights.
But they're not. They're not protecting us. They are trying to do away with religious liberty in this country. You can't have the 10 Commandments up any place. You can't have a crucifix. You can't have a Christmas tree. Whose rights are they protecting?
Well, then they want to take that plaque off Washington's church down in Virginia because it says that it was the worship place of George Washington. And some feel uncomfortable now with that plaque.
Because he had slaves.
He had slaves.
Yeah.
But it's the problem with the people who are listening to that and kowtowing to that. That's where the problem lies. They should say, okay, you don't like it, don't look at it, you know.
But we don't have the balls to do that
That's
anymore.
That's right. Nobody wants to say no.
I do.
Unfortunately, you're not the governor.
May not be long from it. Dwayne and I are talking about a coup.
Right.
Xmas spending, Christmas spending,
Yep.
per capita in
God.
this country. They expect it to be $906 this year, was $785 last year.
Mm-hmm.
That's per capita. That's little guys, it's old people in rest homes.
Grandma, and babies, and everything else.
And that sounds reasonable. It sounds like it's an accurate figure.
Well, I'm going to give you something that's not reasonable. Irving Merstein of Weymouth apparently is a little off the reservation here. He had this in the Herald. limit gun ownership. We should have try again, Will. We should have psychological tests in all schools. And again, when a gun background check comes up. Let's find out about dangerous individuals before it's too late.
Those psychological tests are a bunch of junk.
Of course they are. Of course they are. Some of the most devious people in this country, in our history, have been mass murderers that fooled everybody. And not only that, but we should have psychological tests in all schools, and then again, if you want a gun. Now, who's going to pay for all this?
The same people who pay for those standardized tests that we have now.
Plus, don't forget, as soon as they talk about psychological tests or keeping guns out of mentally deranged people, who steps in and says no? The ACLU.
You better believe
liberal
it.
organization in the country says you can't identify people that way.
Well, I got a million more quick hitters here.
I got a good one here.
Okay, go ahead.
Remember Hillary when she flew into as a Secretary of State and she got off the airplane, they were shooting and the bullets were banging around her?
At Tuzla.
Yeah, well, Tillerson, he flew into an Afghan base and nobody shot at him.
What?
That's right. It doesn't say a damn thing about getting shot at.
Good Lord. He must have come in under cover of darkness.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Man.
In that great
But
big.
she had to dodge bullets and I mean, they were...
I got to get to this one. You're going to like this one,
Go ahead.
Dwayne. Live Cops is a TV show.
Yeah, you and I both watched
Yep,
it.
9 o'clock at night to midnight on Friday night and Saturday night. And they put a cameraman in a car with a cop. And in these high crime areas.
Six different places around the country. Everything. They're not all the same every week. But.
It's a very interesting show. It shows you good police work. It shows you what the cops face. Like the other night when the guy reached under the seat and there was a gun there. And the cop yanked the guy out. He didn't pull his own gun, but he yanked the guy out. And he said, "What the hell's going on in your mind? I could have shot you and killed you." And the guy had no excuse at all. Now, was he tucking it away? Or was he going for it to bring out? We'll never know.
The cop heard the metal clink. It obviously hit at the spring of the seat or something. They recognized that sound it made when they think that he right away reacted just like that.
Yep. It shows you what they're up against out there. And I don't like Dan Abrams. He's a wimp.
He is a kind of a wimp.
Yeah. I like Tom Morris, his sidekick there. But down in Richland County, South Carolina, they have them on all the time. And there's 3 of them, Lieutenant Danny Brown and deputies Kevin Lawrence.
Yeah, Kevin Lawrence, he's good.
And Chris Mastriani. Yeah, I wouldn't mess with Kevin.
No.
Big boy. They're good, no-nonsense cops. There's no comedians amongst them. And they had the sheriff, these guys are becoming celebrities. The sheriff had a meet the deputies night. 2,500 people showed up to meet them. They wanted autographs. But I think the show itself is good in some respects. Too many ads. I mean,
they break off too many times.
But what happens is if the TV show is slow, I swear they tell the cops to start stopping cars. Oh yeah, your tail light is out, or you didn't put your blinker on for 2 full seconds before you made the turn. This isn't communist Czechoslovakia. We can't be stopping cars like that for entertainment, or they're doing it out of boredom or something like that. I think that's wrong. Other than that, I think the show is good.
The show is excellent.
Yeah. The other thing, too, is a couple of the cops, those guys out in Arizona, one of them thinks he's a comedian. And you know what? Vaudeville died for a reason.
And I don't like the guy in Maryland. I can't think of his name, Tony somebody or other.
Oh, he
does the DWIs all
Yeah.
the time, and he's so strict with these things. There's not a cop himself could pass that test.
He's
just-
a little full of himself.
Yeah,
there.
very full of
yeah,
himself,
draconian
yeah.
in his approach. Yeah, so it really shows up that everybody's different. And oh, and by the way, NIMBY is now obsolete.
It is.
Yep, it's banana.
What's the banana stand for?
Build absolutely nothing anywhere near anyone.
That makes sense.
Yep. And Meryl Streep said Harvey Weinstein is a god. And this year, are you a pro football fan?
Yeah, of course.
57% said yes. Last year it was 67.
Yeah, it's tapered off.
It really and truly has. Got anything else to finish up with?
Yep.
Go ahead.
We waste our money in this state. Unbelievable. This is out of the Globe today, as a matter of fact. Believe that we spend $79,000 per mile on maintenance. It's 3 times the national average per highway. 3 times. Now, as bad as that is, we spend $75,000 per mile in administrative functions on a highway, which is 7 times the national average. So they're wondering, why are our roads so beat up and we don't have any money to replace them?
You and I both travel lots.
Yeah.
The roads down south are a lot better than they
Oh
are
my
up
God,
here.
you can go to West
because
Virginia, Kentucky, the poorest
Yeah.
places in the country, and they got nice
we
roads.
don't, because down there, they don't have snow to remove.
Right,
You know? So the roads stay in much better shape. But 7 times,
Yeah, the
give me
average.
a break. Hey, by the way, something on the news this morning, the storm was obviously severe. I had 3 inches on my little rain gauge.
Yeah.
There's still 300,000 people up in Maine without power. They'll be without power until spring.
Oh, that'll be a long time.
Yeah. I'm sure Mass and New Hampshire and New York will send trucks up there and eventually
said
get
they
it fixed. But, you're so spread out up there. And
There's more trees.
so there is. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, we got 2 less trees that we had in the afternoon. 2 big ones come out across the driveway.
Really?
Yeah, at least, yeah, we were blocked in until I got the guy that plows my yard. He also does tree work. He came in right at noon the next day, and was it Tuesday?
Yeah.
Monday. At least cut, he said, I have so many trees down, I'm going to cut you a path. So at least you can get in and out, and then I'll come back when he was there last night with his tractors and stuff, cutting he's taking 8-foot logs out of it they're going to make lumber out of them, I'm sure.
Sure. Pine trees, huh?
No,
No?
these oaks.
Oaks?
Big,
Oh, I'm
heavy
sure
oaks.
that's going to be firewood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of them snapped off approximately about the height of the ceiling up, and snapped off. And one of them came out of the root system where they kind of just the root systems come up, and they kind of slowly go over. They came over together. I heard that huge crack. I said, oh no. Well, it could have been worse. It could have hit the garage from where they were.
There you go. Yeah. Lucky. Because you got plenty of trees around you.
Too many trees.
Yeah. And they're really expensive to have them removed.
That's right.
Boy, when they come in with the big equipment, and the way your lot is, they're going to have to bring big equipment
Yep.
in. They don't dare fell the trees.
No. They
Much
gotta
too
take 'em out
easy
of
to
the piece.
smash into the house.
Now, will your house insurance pay for that?
No, you don't dare. Well, he's not going to charge me more than my house deductible would be anyway. I got a $1,000 deductible on homeowners.
Yeah, but taking those trees down is going to be quite
Well, if
expensive.
we take the trees down, it's going to cost me $30,000 to get
Yeah.
those trees out of there. No, they're not going to pay for it.
No. Well, friends, we have reached the bewitching hour. Another fascinating BCR, Bill Crane Report, is now on its way to the Library of Congress for
Quick
future
reminder,
generations to look back
quick
at.
reminder, any veterans out there, the Veterans Day, the 11th, at the Senior Center. Breakfast for you, your spouse, your friends, your wife, your girlfriend, or both.
At what time?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Be a good breakfast and door prizes and
Yep. In friendly banter.
yep.
Yep, it's a good event, folks. We do it every year, and look forward to seeing you there.
Call them and let them know you want to come, so we know how much to buy.
How much to prepare. Very good. Well, listen, folks. Have a great couple of weeks, and we'll be back at you.
Take care. Stay warm.
Say bye to Harvey.
Hey, Harvey. Your cat must be embarrassed now, huh?